Hello, welcome to Pride in Parsippany. I'm your host, Mayor James Barberio, and with me today is the head football coach at Parsippany Hills High School, Dave Albano, and my good friend. How are you today, Dave?
Very good, thank you.
Good. Well, first,
thanks for
thanks for coming on. That means a lot to me. We've become friends over the years.
Right.
You know, I remember. Well, I didn't really know you then, but I remember in the very beginning watching the games. I'm like, this guy's going to go somewhere, you know. And you've been to several state championships. You won one last year. But how many years have you been coaching now?
Been a head coach 21 years now.
Wow.
Coaching 25 years. I started in 1990, Wayne Valley High School.
And that's where you went, right?
No, I went to Wayne Hills.
Oh, Wayne Hills, okay.
Yeah. I finished my playing career in '89 at Ramapo College, and then I started in '90 at Wayne Valley.
Okay, well, I'm going to go to last year.
Okay.
That was the big. That was the big year.
That was the good one.
That was good. Winning the state championship,
Right.
I was at the game, and it was a very exciting game, very intense game, of course. And Cranford was from what I understand, a huge favorite to win it, win it all. And I have to tell you, the very first few plays, when I was there, I saw the size of those kids from Cranford. But what I saw in the Parsippany Hills High School team and your style of coaching was the speed that you had.
Yeah, we've never been blessed with a lot of size.
Right.
So we have to use what we have, and we could run. That's something we brought in. We could run.
Well, one thing in that game that sparked me was I saw how you were just killing the clock through running and passing. But what I did notice about Cranford is they could score quick.
Yeah. And
I don't know how you felt, after you scored that one touchdown and they came right back.
Yeah, I mean, we knew they were averaging over 40 points a game, so our game plan going in was really to keep their offense off the field. And we were doing that, and we took the lead. It was the first time in 4 championship games that we actually had a lead, and it lasted about 10 seconds.
Right, I know.
Every time we scored, they broke a big play. They had 2 plays over 75 yards.
Wow. But there was a game that I was at Parsippany Hills High School. I think it was your first playoff game against Orange. Now that game was a game of the ages. I was at the game, and I'm like, I didn't know which way it was going to go until the very last second. But I remember I was there, and you guys, when I first came there, you were down 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and they were big. They were big kids.
They were good. They were, we were at home. We'd just come off a huge win against Roxbury, so I thought we had a little layover, and they were taking it to us.
Right.
But that team, just give them a lot of credit. They didn't panic. And once we had scored to make it 14-7, we kind of settled down a little bit.
Right.
And then it was just a bizarre second half.
Yeah,
I think we had 28 points in the third quarter.
And when I left that game, when you guys won, I said, and then I said it to many people, these guys could win the states the way you guys came back against Orange, because Orange was big.
Yeah, Orange was big. They were good. We made a lot of plays in the second half, and it was almost like relief, to get that one. And then, and then we had to play our nemesis, really, team that beat us the year before in Summit. So we had to go on the road and play Summit. So that was good.
Well, let me ask you this question now. We've talked on many occasions. Your style of coaching, I know you talked about you treat it like almost like a family, and that's important. I mean, that you captured me with that statement, because you're the coach, and the kids look up to you, and they can look at you in many ways as the leader, as a fatherly figure. And I think that's one of the reasons why you probably are successful, because you treat it as a family.
You have to. I've been doing it for so long, and these are the values I was taught. And when you hear kids talk about it, it's my second family, or these are the brothers I never had. That's the joy for me, in coaching, is to bring them all together. And again, we spend so much time together. If you don't have that close knit unity, it's going to be tough to get the job done.
Right. I have to tell you, one of the that I see, because I didn't have it when I played for Parsippany Hills, is one of the benchmarks is that Little Vikings football program. I mean, and you do work with them with the coaching clinic and all that?
That's a great program. When I got here, it had really just started maybe 4 or 5 years. And then once that took off, you could really see in our program, You know, I think they put up a stat in the finals that out of our 60 players or so, like 55 of them had been through the Little Vikings program. So it's really, and again, that like you talk about family, that whole thing is, we're one. You know, the Little Vikings, us, you know, all the kids come through. They come to my camp. I run a camp. We do clinics. My kids coach the little guys. You know, so it's really just all working together.
And a lot of those, a lot of former players come back and coach.
Yeah, they come back and they coach. They want to be around it.
That's
so
great.
It's really good, and the little kids look up to those kids. You know, it's pretty cool.
Now, how much time do you put into the football program? Because I know, being a mayor, I put a lot of time.
Yeah, no, it's a 12-month-a-year job.
Yeah,
it's just what I do.
I mean, I remember when you won the game. I have a photo of you put your arms in the air when you won the state championship, and your wife hugging you like she was going to snap your neck.
You know, you put so much time and so much energy, really, over the last, you know, since I've been here 16 years. You know, we had been there 4 other times, and to finally get it was so much joy and a relief and excitement in the town. And you know, when I saw my wife, it just kind of all out of motion, just kind of.
Right, she was excited.
Ran through, yeah, because she goes through it with me, you know, the wins and the losses, and
you told me, is it your father that comes to every game?
My parents, both my parents come to every game.
Great.
My oldest brother comes.
Oh, that's great.
So it's a family affair. It really is.
Truly is. I mean, that's what's great about it. Now you've got several awards, but the one that sticks to my mind, September 18, 2015, is your 100th victory. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of wins. I mean, when you look at, you only play how many games a year now? Is it?
You play 10 and hopefully 12.
Right. So how does that make you feel?
That was exciting. Like I said, it says I've been there a while, but it also says that I've had a lot of great players.
Yeah.
A lot of great players. I've had a lot of great coaches. Brian Francis and Ross Tarlow have been with me a long time. I've never coached a game without Brian.
Oh, wow.
And Ross was here since 2000. But it's really a credit to both the Little Vikings organization and you know, my organization that, you know, we got that 100th win together. It's pretty cool. It was good.
Well, I can tell you this, I've said this to many people. Your style of coaching, what I love about it is you do get intense. There's no doubt about it. Probably not as intense as I would get, but I shouldn't say that because I mean I'm pretty calm at times. But I watched you at some games, boy, and there was some bad calls made, and you held your temper back. And I got to give you credit for that because when I can get mad, I don't get a yellow flag, I guess. So,
you know, I coach with a lot of emotion, and I tell my kids, you got to play with emotion. You can't if you don't, then it's just a football game. You know, then it's an X's and O's, then it's the whiteboard. Right. You know, it's the emotion part of it that puts you over the top. And, you know, I like to think I've mellowed a little bit with age, but I'm not too sure because, you know, it's just, you know, I can't fake it. I can't. That's who I am. And I think the kids feed off it.
Which is great. And the parents as well. I mean, there's guys I'll name, John Mucciolo, Chris Joyce, Tom Beluge, and Mike Peterwitz. They were instrumental in the part, always coming to the mayor, you know, how we can help out. Because you're so excited when you get to the playoffs. Let's face it, it doesn't happen every year, and there's been times who knows if it will ever happen again. But when I meet those guys and they talk very highly of you, and you know, they give accolades about how you coach, and you know, hey, listen, I know, you know, they're not going to make every kid happy, but at the end of the day, it's about winning, and you know. I get all that, you know, so I understand all that. But what a lot of people don't know, and I found out just speaking with you, you're a special education teacher as well.
Right, yes.
And that in itself must be rewarding.
Yeah, you know, when I was at New Milford High School back in '96, they told me, you know, I was the head coach there, but I wasn't a teacher there yet. So they told me, go back, get your special ed degree, and I would take over one of the programs. So I did that, and it's been great. You know, I enjoyed the teaching aspect of it. Right.
And we also talked, you and I, and we share something in common, something I wish we didn't share. We both lost our brothers.
Right.
I lost my brother to a brain tumor, and your brother to drunk driving.
Yeah.
And you were advocate against drunk
Yes.
driving. How did that play a role in your life? Because I know it's difficult.
Yeah, you know, it was February 11th of 1989, so I was a junior heading into my senior year of college, you know, when it happened. And we talked earlier about family, football, and you know, my teammates and my coaches. Like, the first call I made was to my head coach to let him know what had happened, that I wasn't going to be around. The president of the school called my parents. So football really helped us get through that first year. You know, I was still playing. It was almost like a relief for my parents on Saturday,
Right.
to go to the games, and football really helped us get through that.
Well, I know, you know, when we lost my brother, it was the same thing. Then your parents really need you more than ever.
Yes, right.
And listen, that's one thing we share, and that's why I think we have an admiration for each other and understanding.
Yeah, unless you're through it, you really
Yeah.
don't understand. Like I said, you know, I was living in college. I was a senior. It was, you know what college is
Yep.
like. It was fun. You know, you don't, no cares in the world. And then, you know, I moved back home and, you know, kind of took care of my folks, you know, as much as they needed to, and just, you know, it's still a grind. It's a grind every day.
Well, we're going to get to a happy note here now. Let's talk about the motorcade, because that was fun.
Yes.
I mean, I remember my wife was all teary-eyed, and I said, "Why are you so emotional?" Because she went to Parsippany High.
Right.
She says, "I'm looking at it through your eyes." You know, I played on that field. I mean, we didn't win much.
Right.
I mean, we weren't going to ever get a state championship, but that didn't matter. My heart was always there, because that's where I went to school. But I got to tell you, the kids, the parents, that motorcade, it lifted everybody up. I mean, until you threw me that audible. And I'll explain to everybody what that audible is. We had a route for the whole motorcade, and we were going up Moraine, and we were going to make a right onto, I think it was Tarn.
Right.
And because everybody wanted to see, you know, well, he didn't think we were going to Tarn, the coach, and he makes a right onto Drumlin, I think it was.
Yes.
And I lost him. I mean, this motorcade's huge, and I can't find the bus.
My wife had surprised me. I
Right.
mean, I didn't know, so she was like, "Make sure you go
Right.
past the house," because she had surprised me. George Schreiner,
Right.
and a couple of his friends, they painted the championship logo on my front lawn. So you were going one way.
Right.
We, like you said, we audibled out. Went
And then
the other way.
when I made the right, I see your bus in front of me. I'm like, that was funny. I get it. You know, you had to go in front of your house, but we planned to go in front of your
That's
house.
funny.
But that was fun. I mean,
It really, the town, the people, it was incredible. It was so much more than I ever expected.
well, it was fun. I mean, when we got to the high school, that was great.
Right.
I mean, that was an emotion. Everybody had all the
Right.
emotions. The parents had the emotions. I'll say this though, it's like victories like this, winning state championships. I mean, Parsippany Hills has you know, in football. Then you had the girls' high school at Parsippany High. It puts Parsippany on the map.
Right.
I mean, I could tell you how many people I meet and political events. They always ask me, "What is that ring?
Right.
Is that a Super Bowl ring?" And I said, "No,
looks
it's even
like
better
it."
than a Super Bowl ring." I tell them, "It's the Parsippany Hills State Championship
Right.
ring from 2014." And it had so much meaning behind it. And I remember going to the ring ceremony. It was really unexpected, and I do appreciate it, Coach.
No, that was, from the time we won it, that was
Yeah.
something I wanted to do, because you do so much for me in the program, and
Well, I got to tell you,
you deserve it.
I was
I'm
touched,
so
and
glad
I-
you use it.
I don't take it
Enjoy
off very rarely.
Good.
But here's a funny note, something on funny note. The other night, what was it? Wednesday night, I'm out
You're gonna
late.
get me
I'm out late because I have to get some stocking stuffers for Christmas, and I have
Right.
to get some other thing. And who do I see there at CVS in Denver? I see Coach Albano.
So it's about 12:30, right?
Yeah,
About
and
12:30.
I said to my friend, "Hey, that's the coach. What's he doing out so late?" He goes, "Well, what are you doing out so late?" For the same reason.
Yeah, you're going to get me in trouble. I was stocking stuffers for my wife.
Right.
It was running out of time.
So
I
the
have-
time you have, I get it. I mean,
Usually it's not too crowded at
Right.
12:30. I don't see anybody. But yeah, that was a funny night.
that was good. I mean, and I'm looking. I'm like,
We're very similar.
I know.
It's
we
the
can't-
best time to shop, when no one's out.
Exactly.
so.
Nobody's out. Too bad the other stores won't open
Right.
then. But reflecting back on last year,
Yep.
you know, you won the state championship. What's the future hold for the team? You'd say, because I know you got a lot of good kids coming up from the Little Vikings program.
Right.
So
you know, I think the program is solid. You know, this year, you know, we went 5-5. Some may call it a down year, but it really wasn't. You know,
Right.
we had the lead or tied in the fourth quarter with two teams that one went to the finals. You know, we win those two games, who knows? Maybe we're back in it again. So this year was, again, it was a successful year, and it really makes you appreciate what we had done over the last, you know, 4 years.
4 years,
you know, being there 3 out of 4 years. But I'm excited, you know, about the future. You know, we have a good class coming up right now, and then our 8th graders, 8, 7, and 6 are all very good. And because my daughter's a cheerleader, I get to see a lot of those Little Vikings games.
Oh, that's good.
So, you know, I think we're going to be pretty good for over the next maybe 10 years or so. So I'm excited.
I see it that way too, because
Yeah.
I go to the Little Vikings games and I see how it's working, and it works well. I mean,
Right.
you know, but I got to tell you, you're an excellent coach. There's
I
no,
appreciate
you know,
it.
I have literally seen many coaches, and I've had great coaches too. Don't
Right.
get me wrong, but you have a command with the players that I haven't seen in a long time. I had a coach in baseball named Jack Mott, who all those years I thought he was the toughest guy in the world, and little that I know, he built character.
Right.
He gave me character. He gave me understanding. He gave me the respect, and I think that's what you do for these kids. You didn't just teach them football.
No, we're hard on them, but
Yeah.
you know, they know I have their back, and my coaches have their back, and we're a family. We can
Right.
fight with each other, but
Which is good. I mean, and people need to understand that your coaching style, it's not just good for the playing the game, but it's good for afterwards. I had the week before, was it Christmas? I went to the Reservoir, what's it called, pizzeria over there, Bavacqua's, and I met all my coaches from high school. I was in one of my teachers from the Parsippany-Hills came into town hall and says, "Why don't you meet us tomorrow Tuesday?"
that's good.
And I went. I saw my football coach, Mr. Dietz, one of my baseball coaches, Mr. Malillo, the old athletic director, Mr. Caprio, was there.
oh yeah, I know Bob.
Yeah,
I
so
worked
it
with
was
Bob a
really,
little
really
bit.
Mr. Klebitz. It was,
Right, right.
it was so nice. You know, these were the guys that taught me, and the guys that, you know, and when I would go back as the mayor, it was such a good feeling that, you know, they were so proud, you know. I said, if it wasn't for you guys, who knows if I would have been mayor.
Yeah,
or not.
no, when I started at the Hills, all those guys were still there.
Yeah, and
they've
those
retired since, but
great guys,
good group of guys.
But for you now, I mean, does it take a lot of time away from family, or you incorporate that together?
No, we incorporate it together. I'll be honest with you. You know, up until 2004, you know, it was like football, and then once, you know, my children started to be born and everything, a little better perspective on life, you know. So you do your work, you want to get home to your family, and really that's when we started winning.
Right.
And they're such a big part of it. My wife and my 3 kids, they come to every game. You know, like I said, my daughters were in the Little Vikings program. They're at every game. They come on the field, so it's fun.
I don't know. I love watching your kids when they're there.
They're excited.
They're excited. They do. It's like Sunday, you know,
And
Saturday. No, actually Friday night now football.
And they
hey,
get
that's
it.
what I didn't ask you yet. I know for years, 2012, I was trying to get those turf fields for both high schools, and it just wasn't successful. But now that you have them, how does it feel?
Great. You know, it's something when I got here in 2000 that they started talking about, and it got to the point where, you know,
we're ever going to get it.
Are we ever going to get it? So to finally see it being done, and then to play our first game on it against Vernon, and that was actually the 100th win. You know, the first game on the turf. Right. You know, so it was exciting. The field is beautiful. The kids love it. The community will love it. So
I think you're right. First of all, Friday night games,
there's nothing like it. Yeah.
No, it's great. And I got to tell you, we got to close down here now. Not a commercial break, but you know, I want to thank you, Coach, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You know, you're a good friend. You know, and we become very good friends.
Right.
And all you do for the community, not only be, you know, coaching, but a special education teacher, that takes a lot of time and commitment. And I want to thank you as the mayor of the Township of Parsippany.
Thank you. I love it and have it no other way. So I appreciate it.
Well, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Pride in Parsippany. Until next time, thank you and God bless you all.